Alright, guys, here we are, hole 9. I'm thinking something. Oh my goodness, how do I not have the bag? How did that happen? Well, that might really force my hand here. I was talking about the options that I was thinking about doing, and this may considerably change them. I might try to do something along the lines of this. So I'm thinking 5, 10-ish rings with some decent curl, something along the lines of this. And it's because I have the second shot in mind. So I've over adjusted too much. The wind was a little bit too much down, and plus with all that curl I was putting on, made it curl harder to the right. So I wasn't able to pull that off, but you can see what I'm trying to do there. I do think this is a good method. However, there's 2 reasons my shot didn't work out. One of the reasons, how much curl I'm putting to get it up in here. I put too much curl for that many of rings to go 10 rings and put that kind of curl. It's going to over curl back. And then, only maybe 8 rings is probably what I should have went, but I was running out of time, trying to rush, didn't factor that in. Aside from that, this wind isn't quite side enough. It's a little bit more of a tailwind. So with the fact that it's a tailwind is kind of the other reason. And you can see without that curl, you're going to have to take off the top spin. So you'll want that top spin on there to get it up there farther. The farther you get it up, the more that you can kind of safely. You see where my opponent is. I think with an Amazon or a Nirvana, he'll still be able to, just hitting this fairway should be enough for you to secure getting to the green. That's one of the main reasons to go for this shot, is I think you can kind of just safely put it up there. Now, all I'm going to try to do to bail myself out is I guess we're going to go this way, about 5, 6 rings of aim, and then we're going to try to curl this as hard as we can. Good ball, might leak just too much. Let's see if it just clips it. Nope. So we needed to really get perfect ball there, or very close. What I was trying to do is land right on that fairway, kind of aggressively on the left edge here, and then bounce it up here. And as I was mentioning, you can see with my opponent's mistake, let's say he brings Amazon, full top spin, I bet you still gets up to this green. So it's something to think about. And then in that way, the only thing you're going to need to do is make sure that that first bounce hits that fairway. And if you don't bring your Cataclysm, you're going to almost have to go the way that I just went. So keep this in mind. I kind of mentioned this in my last video. You could see how my opponent, brought his bag. If you watch my last video, he brought kind of like the perfect clubs to be able to kind of just strategically hit these perfect shots. However, when I accidentally have Sniper, don't have Cataclysm, I know that going with more of a layup approach and I'm really going to be maxing out my capabilities. So that's why I switched up to Berserker. And then with the Berserker, had I hit, all I needed to do is get that first bounce on the fairway, and then I would have gave myself a good chance. But let's at least take a look at this eagle real quick here. It's uphill. No, it's not too bad. I'm thinking 3-ish per ring. It's going to need so much curl that this is not going to be very holeable. 3 per ring plus some curl. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of here. And a considerable amount of curl because of wind effect. And with the great ball, it's definitely not going to make it back to the hole. For sure. Not to mention, it looks like I didn't quite keep the ball guide through the hole enough. It looks like it would have came up short either way. But in any regard, kind of keep that in mind. Let's just take a look at what my opponent has here. One of the things that I would be looking at, you can see my opponent's trying to do some kind of top spin method. I try to stay away from this as much as possible, especially landing on this fringe. Very not smart thing to do. So much can go wrong. If you hit more towards this front, the ball guide lies. So you definitely want to stay off the fringes. If at all possible, you always want to stay off the fringe. And that's a big reason. You can see his ball guide just completely changed. And It's from picking a poor landing zone. Okay, so you want to make sure that you land onto that green, but also you want to make sure that that ball guide is kind of through the hole and not going to change on you, because into a headwind like that, it has the ability to, instead of having that long rollout bounce, to change into that checkup bounce that you can see my opponent got there. So keep all that in mind. Good luck with your rounds. As I mentioned, you might want to check out both sided guides. Even if you don't, just have, some different perspectives and different ways to play them regarding what bags you have, what your ball setup is. It really changes the way that you have to go thinking about these setups. So keep all that in mind. Good luck with your rounds, and see you guys next time. Take care.